Hello everyone, it's Tanya with Scribbles in Time. I am here today. I'm going to be filming 3 separate videos. I have posted 3 journals in my Etsy shop, and they are all posted as of right now. So when these videos are uploaded, the journal should be there. I believe one of them has actually already sold, so 2 of them should be there hopefully. And these are all 3 journals that I have made using photo albums from the 1800s, using the covers of photo albums from the 1800s. Months ago, I had used some of the smaller photo album covers and posted a bunch of junk journals that I had made using the smaller photo albums. And now I've made some using the larger ones. And as I've filmed these videos, you may notice there's going to be some shaking. I have had to move my camera mount up higher and so I have literally stacked boxes, so I apologize if they're going to be shaking. I don't know how well this is going to do. I'm going to try to kind of fumble my way through filming the video. It may shake because, again, these are very large. This is the biggest journal I have ever made. This one weighed in at almost 3 pounds. It's huge. All 3 of them are huge. They all weighed in at almost 3 pounds. They're absolutely huge. They are beautiful, absolutely stunning, and I don't say that as a way of bragging. I can't take credit. The covers are beautiful. They are just beautiful covers. Again, they're from the 1800s, and they are all very unique. I made them, I let their own personality shine through. I want to talk very quickly because it's going to take a long time to flip through these. They are huge, and I have filled them full. I am going to try to do in a very similar way that I did with the smaller photo albums. I'm going to try to do kits, so I will maybe at the end of this video, I just don't know how long these videos are going to take, but I am going to try to do kits with the items that I used. All 3 of these have very similar items in them, very similar styles, but yet unique in the way that I made them based off of their individual covers. But I did do the series. I named this series, now this one is called Stone, and I did use the hagstone on the removable wrap on this particular one, and I'll talk a little bit more about the personality of this particular one. But the series that I have done with this one is called She Dries Her Tears on Angel's Wings, and I'm not going to get to me, that almost sounds a little bit mournful or sad, or maybe a little soulful, but the way my and I talk about this a lot in the Etsy listings, the way I describe the descriptions of the where my thought process in making these was going. I talk about that a little bit in the description, but to me, it was such an awakening spiritually of where I was going in my thought process. It was not a sad thought process at all. When I'm talking about tears, it was such a soulful process. It was a truly awakening process for me. It was a holding my chin up high kind of thing. I don't know if you've gone through times in your life where you have kind of an awakening spiritually, soulfully, even artistically kind of thing. So if a lot of you have reached out wanting to know how I'm doing, how my dad's doing, how life is going. I haven't been on YouTube in quite a long time. I have been, doing a lot of creating. I've been making journals. I have been sketching. I have been painting, a lot of painting. In fact, I have done The Path She Walks. I've been working on I'm almost done with a journal in that series as well. Hopefully fits into be posting one in that series. and that one has actually some painting and pastels in it. I've been doing a lot of drawing and creating. But anyway, my point to that is, as I think as we grow and we go through life, there's times that we go through things that we kind of, I think, grow spiritually, and sometimes we have our ups and downs, tears of joy, tears of happiness, tears of sorrow. But my favorite scripture is, I love Psalms 91. And I love the scripture that references that God gives us angels to watch over and guide us. And whether it's tears of happiness, tears of sorrow, tears of faithfulness, and whatever our tears are about, yeah, this whole process for me was referencing how we take time and we grow, and we dry our tears of whatever the tears are from. We hold our chins up and we move forward with life and whatever life lessons we are going through. So let's move forward with this. I'm getting caught up on that, but I just wanted you to know where my thought process is as I create this whole series, because for me it was a celebration. So I say that because you're going to see all kinds of personality poking out of these journals, all three of these. And I want you to know that, because some of these might have odd things, like when you see this is a heavy, like a wrought iron style key, and you're going to see there's a skull on it, and you're going to think, what in the world? That does not go along with, you're not going to see my cross hanging out right here, but there's a cross there, and then there's angel wings. You'll see the feathers from the angel wings back here, and there's just all kind of contradictory things hanging out. Here's a beautiful bird hanging out here. So there's kind of contradictions of things hanging out, and to me that's what life is all about. As I open up this little pouch here with what's inside of there, it's such a childlike thing inside of there, and that's, to me, that's what our journeys are all about. It's just contradictions of things that we go through with our journeys, and that's what it's about. And for me, that's what this whole process is about. And I hope that that's what we do when we are documenting things that we're going through in life and in our journey and journaling process. And that's kind of where I was with this thought process of this concept journal. So the whole series of these has all kind of various things poking out. And these things are kind of in the kits as well, in case you need inspiration like that. So for example, I put one of these in every one of the kits. So it's kind of a heavy skull style key with the angel wings, with the, all these macrame owl. The kits have all of these various things that are just, kind of a contradiction of style. And you'll see that all poking out of the photo album. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now on this particular one, I did make the wrap of the journal removable on this one. On the next one I do, you'll see that the wrap is stationary on it. But on this one, I wanted to make it removable. So I made the wrap. I don't know if you remember my leather journal that I did way before I started with the photo albums. So these photo albums, I mentioned in the previous ones with the smaller photo albums, that I got all of these photo albums from Dale with Not Too Shabby Chic. Check her out. She does have a shop, and I did use a lot of her photos that I got from her. She has these photos that came out of these original albums in her shop, and they are so cool. So check her out. But I made this wrap that goes around the exterior of this photo album, and I put this real heavy stick down that, and I actually scorched the stick. And I did a lot of scorching with an actual flame, a torch. And I scorched the stick throughout the edge with a flame. And I did that also to represent, so on the Path She Walks book that I'm working on also, I did a lot of wood burning on that. I did some wood burning art with some dandelions and So while I was doing the wood burning, I was kind of getting caught up in the whole scorch thing. And that was kind of, again, my thought process with things that we go through in life. You know, again, that was where my thoughts were going with this particular concept. And so I went with all kind of layers on this cover, and scorch and burns on the stick. I did more inside of here. I'll show you as I go. And I stitched this on here, and a really cool piece of this fabric. I'm trying to remember where I got this. I can't remember, but I was trying to see if I see any laying around so I could show you. It's a really beautiful, I've got it all squished together, and then the other rock on the other side with this old lace all stitched in with it, and all different layers with string tied around. It's very grungy, and when you turn it over, it is just as beautiful on the inside as it is on the out. It's very big. I'll lay a ruler over here for comparison if I can find my ruler. I had taken it into the other room. Let me see if I can find well, I'll use one of the rulers over here. Excuse me, I've got to reach my camera. I'm trying not to shake everything. So let's see. This is a 12-inch ruler here, so you can see it extends beyond the 12-inch ruler. So I'd say that's probably about 14 inches. And that way. And then if I hold it there on the journal, you can kind of get an idea. And I think it measured out at 6 or 7 inches thick. And you can see it definitely has that feathered look going that way. It's so hard to capture this size book on video because it's so large. I can't even get it all in camera, and I can't see my camera either because I've had to mount it so high. I literally had to get a step ladder out to hold up to see. So there's the top view. I can't even see if I'm in frame. The side view, the bottom, and the top. The spine. The spine has all of the layering. It's very heavy. Again, about 3 pounds. There's the back, and the back does still have the metal piece there. While it did work before, the clamp did work, it obviously would not now. There's that. I did make a removable bookmark in here, so I'm going to get that out. And it does have a scripture on it. It says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, and that's Philippians. And I'll try to kind of, I can't get it all in. Turn it sideways, you might can see it a little better. I believe that is onyx. And that is just hanging from the bottom of the bookmark. I apologize for the background noise. If you've watched in the past, you do know that my dad does live here, and he suffers with a lung illness. There we go. And I'm going to lay that to the side. And again, it has the leather cover. The spine, I've layered it with all kinds of just grungy. I hope I'm in frame, and I apologize again for shaking the camera. All kinds of just different little pieces of fringe and tattered pieces of trim poking out. And it is pretty stiff when you open it. It does open pretty well, but it is stiff. There is grungy fabric. Let me see if I can hold it up so that you can get a good visual there. And the cross is just kind of tied on there to the piece of metal there at the front. It is a wooden cross. And here in the front page, as you can see, there are birds. And when you open that up, there is a cluster with some sticks and twigs and pieces of trim, and then that little gold tone pen with the crystals. And then all kind of pages from a book are just hinged on here. And I have fabric. I've always tried to line some type of a hinge fabric on pages with fabric or tape or some type of hinging system to keep the pages more stable. And so I have all of these hinged just for the stability. And I have that waterfall look going. And there's some paint there. I cannot tell you how many pages are in this. It's honestly too many surfaces to truly go through and count. I can't tell you. I'll try to do a good representation and flip through, but I am going to flip through quickly because I do have a lot of videos to film here. I know one has sold, and honestly I'm not even sure at this point if I'm going to try to film and upload a video. The lady who purchased it had already reached out and mentioned to her that she said she was okay with not seeing a video. I put the little number tab up here so that it shows when the journal is closed. That number shows through. And then here in this pouch is a little whimsical, almost a little, to me it's a little childlike piece. I just thought it was whimsical. And it's a little rabbit and a rock. I just thought it was quirky. I like things that are quirky like that because to me it just evokes a randomness that makes your mind think about who may have put it in there and the story behind it. And I tie that off just because it kind of draws the eye to it from the outside with the little knot poking through. And then there's a little gold tone flower with crystals and some sticks and string, and then I hand stitched some X's coming down the bag and the grungy bag there, and it's a little canvas bag that's stitched onto this page, and then you just close the waterfall pages back together there. And I did not do a course on this because I don't know if any of you remember watching the videos where I did a course with the kits. It was like a little free course. If you purchase the kit with the smaller photo album journals, then I sent you the link for the course on how to make the little smaller photo album journals. This is one of the photo album pages that came with one of the photo albums, the larger journals that I took apart to make the journals. I'm not sure which of these journal covers this one came with, but I thought I would also do up some kits with some of these larger ones. I always call them cabinet cards. Dale reached out and corrected me and told me these were just called photo album pages, but they're like frames that came in the original photo albums. I put one of these little rings in each one of the kits also, and some of the zipper pulls. And on this one, I just attached the ring there with one of the zipper pulls hanging out. And then this is where I chose to put the little cluster with the skull zipper key that shows when the journal is closed. And then a really cool doily there. And then this is a page from the 1800s out of a really neat ephemera book. And that page is so old, it just has really neat texture to it. And I did try to put that in all three of the journals. It's just a really neat page. And then this does swivel open. And I did a neat little flip here. And this is a pocket, and that's where I've put the little postcard. I don't know if you can see the little, I hope I'm in frame. I can't see my camera because it's up so high. I hope I'm in frame. But some little pretty pieces there, and then that's just stitched on. And then that's where I slid inside that pocket is where this little postcard is, with that artist rendition there of these little girls. This is some of the straw paper. And then I love this paper, gosh, my mind has gone blank. So apologize. I have been working all day on getting all of the descriptions and measurements and everything posted in Etsy of all three of these journals, and then getting the kits together. I have not posted those yet, but I've been working on getting all of this stuff together and posted for Etsy. Hubbard's, that's the name of the book that these pages came out of. That's the ones I'm thinking of. If you have this book, there it is, Albert Hubbard's. This is the book I'm talking about. If you have this book, I can't tell you how many times I have used these pages, and I've never really sat and read them. These are really cool. Stop and read these at some point. They really are good. They're interesting reads. I would encourage you to read these. These are just random pages. These are really cool tags. They're numbered. I don't know how well that's going to show, but they say New York or NYS DA something, and then suspect. I don't have my reading glasses on, but the silver ones say suspect, and then in the kits I've put the silver and red. I chose to hang this one here like that so that it shows from the outside of the journal, and then that shows from the top, and then I stained and grunged out this fabric tab, which comes in the kits. And then the tab, here it is. So it comes with, the kits are going to come with the red also, and it says condemned. And I thought that was so cool. And then the silver ones say suspect. And so the kits also come with a silver one as well. Somewhere. Here it is. There it is. And they say suspect. And they're numbered. They're really cool. I thought they're just unique and unusual. And then I put just some grungy trim right there. And then I have grunged up a piece of a book and hinged on to this paper here, so that the edge of the book hangs out this way. And then there's the other side of that dolly and the ephemera page. And this is just a tab where it's a piece of a real strong piece of cardstock that has been grunged up, and it's attached here so that you can hinge something into the book. And it's very sturdy, and I've used a piece of fabric to reinforce it. And so it is strong enough that you can attach anything pretty much to this page. So, for example, I'm trying to find something laying around that you could go in and attach here. This is pretty random, but you could attach, you know, this is pretty thin, but you could go in and attach a page there, or something even heavier. I'm trying to imagine what, but let's say you wanted to come in and attach some type of a little leather piece or a leather page there. You could literally attach pretty much anything you wanted to. This is a very sturdy piece of cardstock with a leather hinge there. So you could come in and attach something pretty significant there to hinge on to that page. And I try to put these throughout my books so that you can attach things to your journals. There's the other side of the bird paper, and then a pretty little placemat fabric. And I love attaching pieces of fabric inside of journals also, so that you can sew buttons or fabric or little pieces of jewelry or pins or anything, cameos, anything at all that you want to you know, attach inside of your journal as a memory. And then here's the beautiful angel wings, and I tried to put that in a way to where it peeked through from the outside of the journal. I grunged this paper up with some of the butterflies that are also in the kit. I have these in my Etsy shop. They're these little butterfly appliques, and there's just, I believe, 2 of them in every kit. I think 1 large one and 1 small. Yeah, 1 large and 1 small in every kit. But I have more in my Etsy shop, but I love laying these on the papers when I do my grunging of my pages, because they leave marks on your paper, and I just like the way it looks when you grunge up your paper. I don't know if it's showing on camera very well, but to me it just leaves a little shadow, and I like the way it looks. In the center of this signature, I did this EKG paper, and then I attached these little photo cards with the fabric. It's kind of like a thin screen fabric inside of the photo card, attached to the photo card, like that. And then a piece of wallpaper in the center. And I put the string, I left the string hanging. Not sure if anybody would want to attach a charm or just snip those off. But I did leave the strings, one on the top and one going up through the top and one going up through the bottom. And then I folded this down, something could be slid in there, kind of like a little pocket. And then on this side, I did that little sheer piece of flower, like that. And then here I did another one of the zipper pulls. My dear friend Dee sent me some of these. She sent me, you know, she knows that I'm going through a lot right now with my dad and his health issues, and she's been checking in on me frequently and sending me little care packages constantly, just letting me know she's thinking about me. Her and Dale sent me a sweet little care package also. Just sweet people. Selena at Amore Fabrics sent me care packages and just constantly checking in on me, and just sweet friends. And I used this here to attach that little luggage pull, and then through this I attached these little film slides. Let me come this way with it. So this has these film slides here, and so I created this little tab on this page and just kind of slid this up through here so that that pokes out at the top. These are real old. I believe they're slides of DC. On this side, I created a little pocket and put this little card in here. I know I need to speed this up. I have so many videos to film. So in the center, somewhere in the center of this journal, I created these little loops out of this wax linen. And I made these little ribbons that can be used like bookmarks. And they're just attached to these little loops that I actually stitched into the center of the spine of the journal. And I attached these little ribbons that can be just used like bookmarks through the journal. And on this one, there is like this, I call it the tree of life, or the family tree, or whatever. I've written myself notes on my hand, sorry. I did that with my Etsy listings. I was trying to put little reminders on my hands of some of my measurements. But here is this little really beautiful charm, and I love it, and I only have a handful of these, and I have been hoarding them forever, and I chose to use one on this journal. This is the only one out of the 3 that I used one of these on, and I love it, and it is just so special to me. I'm going to have a hard time letting go of this particular journal. I used a lot of things in this one that I really love, and that's one of them. And so this is another side of the chocolate box. I believe, no, it was a raisin box. So the other side of the box had the angel wings attached to it, and then this is the other side of the box. And the placemat. And then here is a bag, and inside of this bag I've just tucked this vintage hanky. inside of that bag. And then some papers. And then here's the other side of the bag. And I did line the inside of these bags with fabric. So it's really the feeling of these bags when you line them with fabric. It gives it a different feeling. It's hard to explain, but it makes it feel like I mean, it's fabric lined. I don't know how else to describe it, but it does give it a different feeling. It gives it more of a significant feeling than just paper. So they are lined with fabric. And then inside of this one, I tucked this beautiful old photograph. And this came from Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic. And I really encourage anyone who chooses to get any of these photo album journals to go over and check out her photographs, only because even if you get the digitals from her, it's just so cool to know that you're using some of the original photos that went with these photo albums. To me, that is just such a neat thing to know that you're using some of the original photos. I love that. And then this is one of the original pages out of one of the photo albums, and it is beautiful, just absolutely stunning. And so what I did with this one is I attached a feather inside of it, and there is an Edith Holt, so it is like a sandwich page that I've attached in here, and there is an Edith Holden book cover here. And so I love it because it has birds on it, and the birds show through. And so I attached a feather here, and here is a singed ruler that I have grunged up, and then I got my torch out, my husband's torch, and I singed it. And again, the singeing for me was just kind of a bittersweet representation of this stage in my life where somebody that is so dear to me, that I love so dearly, is going through something in their passing, and I'm watching them pass in their journey through their end stages of life, and I'm watching what they're going through, and it is just such a bittersweet thing to watch. And I'm so grateful that I'm getting to be a part of that stage of their moving forward with their journey, and I'm so thankful for that. And it is just such a bittersweet thing to watch, and it's just part of my journey and my path, and it's a singeing. I don't know how else to explain it, but it is just this little singe of my soul that I get to hold my chin up and smile and just wipe away my tears and know that I'm so blessed. And I just love that, and it's like that's my sweet little reminder. And yeah, that's that. And if you look at how that lines up, the birds just are peeking through right there, and I love that. So there's that, and I put this really cool old map in here. It's both sides. The blue was the side that was showing, but I just like this side better for those colors there. There's the other side of that crochet piece. I love, again, take the time to read some of these. This one says, I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. A tree, I don't have my readers on. I'm getting so old I can't see. Oh, that kind of rhymed, didn't it? A tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that May and summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. Upon whose bosom snow has lain, whose intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Isn't that beautiful? And I don't know how many times I have just stuck these pages in books and never taken the time to read some of this stuff, and it's just beautiful. And they're old, and gosh, I've just never really taken the time to enjoy some of that. This piece right here, I had started attaching something to this and decided I didn't like it on this. So I removed it, and it has glue. And so then I started to go back and reattach something there, because I thought, ooh, you know, you don't like your glue to be exposed on something. But then I love the glue, and there's like string, and I loved it, and I wanted that to be exposed. And again, that's that weird artistic thing, I think, that kind of shines sometimes. Now I'm sitting here looking, and I can't see my camera, and I'm thinking, what if it's not recording? Oh, I hope it's recording, y'all. I can't see my camera. I'm sitting here talking, and it's been so long since I recorded a video, and what if it's not recording? Oh, how funny that's going to be. Anyway, so yeah, it's this weird thought process I think sometimes us kind of strange minds have when we're having that artistic thought process. But I just love this exposed glue and string and all that stuff, so I left it. I like it. I don't know. Yeah. And then there's this other side of the map, and then this other side of this dolly here with a grungy stain. And this is one of the old photographs with this number plate there. And I love this fabric here. I have not been pointing that out as I go, but it's really cool. It has almost this Aztec-y print on it, and almost like a Egyptian, or maybe not Aztec, that wasn't the word I was looking for, but let's see, I was looking for the fabric. I actually had it out this morning. I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, oh, well, that's not a big enough piece. I found it, but it's not a big enough piece, and I'm going to end up shaking my camera. This is the other side of that Edith Holden page, and there's her picture, and I love it. It's so beautiful, and it's done in a cameo style. So pretty. And then this is the next signature, and you can see this ripped fabric through there, and I love that. I love doing that on my spines. I like to layer my fabric on my spine, and I like to rip this thin piece of like a cheesecloth fabric so that that shows through. And I did put some a denim pocket in with my kits, because to me that was kind of a whimsical thing to put into this grungy look. And on my denim pocket, I chose to make it kind of like a door, and I put buttons, and I did it like a little doorway. And I used one of those pinafore cards, and I had a hard time using the pinafore card in this way, because I truly like the back of the pinafore card as much as the front in most of the situations. So I had a hard time covering up the back because I'm weird, and I did have a hard time doing that, but I did it. And then I grunged it up with paint and paper around it, and I glued the paper, and then I rubbed it off so that the paper feels grungy. Put a little bit of fabric there, and then on the back I did like this collage there with the butterflies and some denim patches. And then I did it on this really beautiful, pretty thin fabric, and I folded it over on itself, and I just thought that it popped so pretty against that pretty white fabric. And some pretty music paper, and then again a piece of a book that I have hinged onto this thick piece of cardstock, and that piece of paper is good. And again, I used hinges on all of this paper to help strengthen it and reinforce it like that. That is some more, all of my pages again are reinforced for stability. That takes a long time. If I end up doing a little course on how I make these, you'll see that this takes forever when you're trying to reinforce all of these pages. It really takes a long time, but it's part of the process, and it makes sure it turns your books into more of an heirloom piece, because that's part of what makes these last for so long. This is the other ribbon where I was telling you I attached these two pieces with the little loops inside of the spine, so that you can use these like bookmarks and move them around your book and have them coming down in different areas. And there is a little wooden bead with this poking through the bottom, so that wherever it's hanging you can see it. And then here's the other pages. I did not attach anything in here. I feel like it's important that you have spaces to attach what you choose to attach in there. And more paper. Here's a beautiful page with photographs of some kind of Phi Beta Delta Literary Society. I hope you can see this with the way my camera is mounted. I don't even know for sure if it shows, but I stitched a belt coming down the edge of this page. It has a gold tone belt buckle, and here's a metal nameplate thing there. And then up here is one of the little metal buckle things, and a wooden bead is stitched there. You know, I forgot to point out on the skull key, it's so dainty and delicate, you can barely see it, but I did do the little ostrich eggshell, little ostrich shell beads tied onto the string. I don't even know if you can see it. It's so delicate and dainty right there. I forgot to point that out. There's so many little things that you know, as you're doing a flip through, you don't always remember the little bitty details. That's attached there. We're pretty much to the end, and I'm going to wrap this up. Like I say, I have 2 more videos to film, and I don't even know if I have it in me right now to film them. I think this took longer than I expected, and that's the end of the back of the journal. Let me scoot it back over. It's so heavy. And again, here is the bookmark that is included with it, with the onyx bird, and then the book wrap. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I will try to do a full representation of what's included in the kit and my next flip through of the next journal. I'm going to try to go ahead and do a flip through of that one, assuming that it's still available. I'm going to probably go ahead and get this video uploaded first, and then I will go ahead and get over there and do that. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And again, I apologize that it's taken me so long to do a video. My dad has been in and out of the hospital, I believe 2 times since my last video. And for those of you who have reached out and checked in and been praying for us, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love to you all. I really appreciate all of you, and many blessings to you all. Stay happy, stay safe, and love you all.